Hey guys, it's John McNamara, host. Run in Vegas. We're talking local sports, business, real estate. If you guys like what you see today, like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Run in Vegas Podcast. And today we got a special guest, Jessica Clymer, Virtue Real Estate Group is in the house, luxury specialist.
So glad to be here.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excited to have you on.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm excited.
So tell us about you. Tell us about your story, where you're from, how you got into real estate.
Yeah, so I'm actually from Ohio, and I moved out to Vegas by myself when I was 21. I came out to visit. I was like on a girls' trip or whatever, and I told my mom I'm moving there, and she's like, please just give it 6 months. And I'm like, fine, gave it 6 months, and I came. So I drove cross country by myself, no cell phone. I remember back then it was 99 cents for gas for almost the whole way here, which makes me sound very old. Yeah. But once I got here, I did hair for a while. Okay. And then I started running a doctor's office, and I did that for about 20 years. No, I'm still there technically, so wow, okay. A little bit. But I guess it's been over 20 years. But then I went into real estate. The reason why is because I felt like I was losing out on some things. I love real estate. I love buying homes, selling homes, things like that. But like, I have a lot of friends and a lot of luxury type client potentials. So I actually decided at that point, I should try this. My best friend does it. She kills it. So I was like, I'm going to try it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, you've had a lot of success. It's been very impressive to see it. Yeah. And so I didn't know. So you're at, you ran a dentist office for?
Eye doctor,
excuse me. My apologies. Mm-hmm. So you did that for a while. Was there anything that you took from that you were able to take over to real estate, some skills?
Oh my gosh, like so many things. When working in an office, like I was managing, so I always had to deal with the crisis, the crazy thing that's going on, right? If a patient's upset or, people just come in a bad mood, whatever it may be, I was always trying to like turn it around. Like me and another one of my staff members, we would tag team the person with like compliments and then, all these things. And by the time they were leaving, they were laughing, having a good time and happy, sometimes apologizing, because they were grumpy, or whatever it may be. Even, with people upset, like I can calm them down. And I feel like it came in handy so many times with real estate because, everything's, a big deal with, something going wrong with plumbing or whatever it may be, right? I would have a solution right away because I'm used to always coming up with a quick solution. And I feel like that's what's made me not have a ton of cancellations. Like I really have not had a ton of cancellations, which is crazy because a lot of people deal with that, especially right now. Yeah,
especially right now. We're seeing, I know this last year we saw one of the highest cancellations that I've seen in like about 7 years.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and there's some agents out there about 50% cancellation.
Yes, that's exactly like 40s, 50s. But which I thought that was a crazy number also. Yeah. But I feel like I've had just very little, and I think it's picking the right team, of inspectors and all this, because some people can make things a big deal that aren't, right? Mm-hmm. And with my personality, I'm very calm. So like, me coming at you with, oh my God, this is going on versus, all right, this is what's going on and I have a solution for it. Everything will be fine, and that gets the deal closed. So
yeah, that's great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, being solution based sounds like you try to create win-wins and listen to it, kind of be the voice of reason. Because I know too, especially clients right now, I notice I have to. I'm sure you're doing this as well, is kind of just touch base on weekly, because before the election, I mean, there was like nothing moving.
Yes.
So just staying positive, keep it light, but keep things moving forward. So that's great.
Yeah, and so I feel like, I learned a lot of that at the Opta Gallery, where I ran the office, but also dealing with personalities of doctors and staff is another thing, because with staff, people get upset with each other. We're with each other so much, sometimes more than your families, I feel like. So you learn a lot with that too. So I think it's just all the personalities, and I have this way of being different with each person, knowing, okay, I see this type of personality before, and I know I need to be a certain way. So I kind of like am a chameleon in that aspect where I can, approach each person in the way that they need approached.
That's great. Yeah.
So I learned that also, I feel like, a lot.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage. I don't think a lot of agents realize that. They kind of like, they have their one way of doing things with every person, and there's different personality. I know that was actually one of the fun things when I first got into real estate was understanding each personality.
Yeah.
Driver, expressive, analytical, amiable.
Yep.
And you can't treat them all the same.
No.
And they're all different. So that's cool that you were able to establish that skill set and apply it to real estate, because obviously it's translated.
Yeah, I mean, it's helped in so many ways. I also did like a coaching program. So I feel like, there's so many things I've done along the way. I was also a hairdresser. I mean, you're like counseling people the whole time. So I feel like my whole life has been learning personalities, and
great.
I feel like, again, coupled with me being a calm person and being able to calm people down also, it's just really done well for me. And with me in luxury, as a new agent, I was nervous at first, but you realize they're just the same as us, right? You're thinking, okay, they're buying a $10 million property. So some people get nervous. I do not, because I feel like we're all on the same level, right? And not to like hold somebody at a different level. I treat the 300,000 the same as the 10 million.
Yeah, that's great.
You know what I mean? Like they're the same people. So
that's great.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it, right? It's just treating everybody well.
Yes.
And that's how you're going to get tons of referrals, right? So yeah, because people feel it. It's like an energy thing, right?
It really is.
So
it really, really is.
It's good that you apply that. So what have been, because it sounds like you're very growth minded. You did a coaching program. Are you still in that coaching program? Or?
No, I finished it. I completed it.
Okay, so I know, like, especially in real estate, what I see is folks that are super successful with the business, they tend to be very growth-minded, keep learning, keep growing, because this business keeps us on our toes, keep our mental state good.
Yes.
So what were some things from that coaching program that you were able to apply to the business?
I think it's all the same stuff. I mean, again, like I worked with all these people to see kind of where they're coming from, the personality and all that. So I feel like it's just the same as what we were already speaking about, like just fully understanding where people are coming from. We all have our stuff. We all have our grumpy days. We all have, all these things. So I gotta like keep that in mind, not take things personally. That's another major thing I do not do. I don't, if somebody's upset and goes off, I understand this has nothing to do with me, most likely, because I didn't do anything, right? But this is them taking it out on me, but I shouldn't take it personally. And I always told my staff that. I'm like, if you can't step away from it in your mind, then you need to just step away and have someone else take over, because if you meet them the same, then you're going to have a bad result. So I always try to meet somebody at a more positive level, regardless, to keep everything kind of smooth. You know what I mean?
I think especially in the beginning, it does feel very personal, and now the more seasons you get, it doesn't, because I tell this to our agents and everybody gets in the business, like it's part of the process, and real estate is one of the most stressful things somebody can go through. So I'll go down a path with a client, and I doing this for 20 years, sold all the homes. As much as you think somebody's cool on the other side or crazy on the other side they're about to work with, you don't really know until you start going down that path with them.
Agreed.
So, and you have to keep it in check, keep things moving forward, because you have to be the voice of reason. That's why one thing I never see really real estate agents going away, because 80% of the time people kind of go crazy during the process, and they want to cancel, and they want to, So,
and I've been dealing a lot with divorce situations lately, which is even more of a stressor. And you have to like tiptoe around each side because they're mad or they're not talking, or so you got to kind of bring it together. So that's been I guess, my new challenge that I'm kind of challenging myself with, because again, with my personality, I want to make sure everything's good, but you have like people acting like they normally wouldn't act, you know? So it's like, these aren't their, and I realize this, these aren't their normal personalities. They're just both very upset and have a lot of emotion behind things. Sometimes they don't want to sell. This is the place they've had for years. They've got so many memories and all that. So again, there's a lot of like tiptoeing with that, and I've learned a lot from those too, you know?
Okay,
So,
divorce can be interesting, or when somebody passes away and there's a trust and there's multiple kids, and
that's a struggle too.
Yeah, to deal with that and be the voice of reason, so to speak. So you talked about earlier, you know, when you broke in as a new agent, you know, how you treated people all the same. But is there any advice you'd give about, because you've had a lot of success very early on in your career, is there any advice you would give to a new agent out there to crush it like you do?
You know, in luxury, I feel like you have to they have to trust you. You know, that's a major thing. Think about, you know, dealing with a $10 million home. This is like a huge investment. So they have to trust that you're going to answer your calls, you're going to do everything right. You are educated in that. That's another major thing. So get to know as much as you can about the luxury market, the products, and all of those things. I think that's what's been good for me. I already had some background in it, you know, living in it, but also having a lot of friends and on that level, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I was curious because, it's like what attracted you to luxury and to go right into it, because it's a lot of times what I'll see is agents start off, you know, not going straight into luxury, but you're doing it like 5, maybe 7 years down the road or something. But it sounds like you kind of went straight into it. I
went straight into it only because I was speaking with my best friend, who she does 50 to 70 transactions a year, and she's doing, you know, entry level. And she's like, my advice would be go where you want to go, because the thing that she's having is that all her repeat customers and all of her referrals are from the people that she's already dealt with, right? So they're not in that range, right? So it made sense to me, if you want to be in that, start in that. So that's what I did. On top of having many, many friends within that luxury realm, that's what's helped me out. And again, that doesn't mean they're going to use you. And that's where them trusting me and me giving them educated information and just, you know, letting them see what I've been doing, I think has been important. For the trust and everything.
Great.
With luxury.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with you, because we see each other in the office every single day, and one thing I definitely notice is agents that actually show up every day, they tend to run a pretty good business 90% of the time. So, so what do you like most about luxury, or just real estate itself? You know, what's attracted you to that? You know,
real estate, I just love how excited people get when they find the house that they want and get the dream, right? Like the home that they've always wanted, that they're gonna like raise their family in, and then making new friends. I mean, I just love, like, I'm friends with all my clients. Once I'm done, I still keep in contact. I go eat with them. Like, I love everybody. So it's like the greatest to just continue to build a friend base also. Like, it's been, you know, so I love that about real estate, you know. My friend my one buddy, he always jokes with me because he's like, you know, social climber. That's what he calls me, you know, 'cause my last name and everything. But he's like, you always are with people doing things, you know, and I think that's another key to, you know, real estate, is just putting yourself out there all the time. So I don't pretty much say no ever. Like if somebody's like, come to this event, come here, let's do this. Like, I just love to try new things all the time. And I'm always like going to any events. I go to, like you were saying, learning about stuff. I'm at all the classes. Like, I just want to know as much as possible. But I guess I've always been like that, you know, like I just always want to learn. So
that's probably why people are attracted to you. And the fact that you take the time, because I always tell all of our agents, is you got to get like a base of like a good 200 people that just love on you. So the fact that you just naturally just went into that, and you meet with them and have lunches, and You're going to have a great referral base for years to come.
Yeah, I think the follow-up is huge, and to keep in contact, because you never know. Everybody has friends or family or whatever that they are going to buy a house at some point.
Yeah.
So that's what referrals are all about. All my clients are referrals or sphere of influence, or agent referrals. That's all my clients.
Okay.
So it's kind of crazy. Like, I don't do cold anything. I really don't. I don't sit on the phone and call a bunch of people that I don't know. I literally work with people, everyone that I know, or I'm referred from someone I know.
That's great.
Yeah.
That says a lot about you. Do you have like any system in place to touch base with people? Do you call them? Do you text them? Do you have events?
I do all different things.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really do events. I want to.
Okay.
Because I love to do, be at events, go to events and everything. I have not done an event yet, so that's my next for this coming year is my plan.
What's the event going to be?
I don't know yet. I've been talking it over with my coach, and we've been trying to figure out kind of what the best approach is, but I just love everyone to get together. Like, the other thing I do is when I have new people moving to Vegas, I introduce the other new people, because I want them to like be friends and find friends in Vegas, because
that's great.
yeah. So I'll do lunches, or I brought some to a show, like a comedy show and stuff like that. So I'm always trying to get everyone kind of intertwined. It's kind of funny. So.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
But yeah, events and things like that, I am planning this year coming up. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Is there any hurdles or anything that, come up in the real estate business, did you have to go through that you've had to work through, or?
I feel like I've actually not had any hurdles in a sense, because I feel like in my mind, there's always a solution. So when something goes down, I always have something to come to the client with, okay? Like, I have a solution. Like, we're going to figure this out. Again, talking about the cancellations, I really haven't had many.
That's
and so I feel like, with my personality, nothing's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so drives my boyfriend nuts, because everything's a big deal for him.
Yeah.
He's like that A personality. But for me, like, I'm just like, whatever, it'll work out. We'll figure it out. We'll have a solution, right? So pretty much everything has something you could come up with, right?
Yeah, you win solution.
No reason to freak out.
That's great.
So I think that's what's made, things so smooth.
That's probably why, your clients are so attracted to you because of that, because you're just easy. You're kind of like just being solution based. So.
Yeah, the calm demeanor, like, we're not going to freak out.
Yep, and we'll figure it out, and we'll get it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yep.
All right, so you've been in Vegas 20 years? How long?
23 years.
23 years, wow.
Yeah. I was in Ohio 21 years. And then here, so I've been here longer. Findlay, Ohio. It's a small town.
Oh, I have no idea where that is.
Yeah. Most people don't, trust me.
So what's nicer, Ohio or Vegas?
Okay, obviously Las Vegas. Ohio, I love being from there, but would never move back. And I love all my family, but I would never move back. But Vegas is amazing because we have so many things to do. I mean, and me being someone who likes to be out there and doing things all the time, it's like perfect for me.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've got the best dining, shopping, shows, you're not going to get bored unless it's your own fault because you chose not to do something.
That's what I love about Vegas too.
Yeah.
We kind of have, not the same story, but similar. I came out here when I was 25 from upstate New York, which is not too different from Findlay, Ohio, probably. But I love it out here. The sun, hikes. Yeah, there's always something to do.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll say for upstate, I don't know Findlay, Ohio, but I know for like upstate New York, it wasn't growing. The weather's terrible. It's like 9 months of winter.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's gloomy all the time there. The sun is the major thing for me. Like the sun shines a majority of the year.
Yeah.
A majority. So I love that. Every once in a while we've had a snow if I missed it, which I don't. And
I don't either.
I do not miss snow.
We had it on the Virtue TV the other day. I'm like, oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I never actually have to go there if I can just see it.
I always say, like, the mountain has snow, that's fine for me. Like, Like, I don't want to see
same.
any more than that. I'm totally fine, you
That's
know?
funny.
So I agree with you on that. I'm so happy with everything about Vegas. And now that we have all the teams coming in and all that, that was, I feel like, the one thing we had missing, because in Ohio, it was like Ohio State, like we're all diehard, right? You know, all, you know, we had something to all get together for. Now that we have the Knights and the Raiders and everything, even though, you know, the whole Raiders always choke in the end, but you know what I mean? They always choke in the end, but like the Knights and everything, the Knights are so fun to go to and exciting and all that. So, you know,
is Knights your team?
We have everything now. Yeah. So
you like the Knights? That's your team?
I do. I really do. I had never even liked hockey until it came, and now I really do love, you know, watching the game. So.
Yeah, it's cool that it was an expansion team. You know, because I grew up watching hockey, played a little bit. I really loved hockey. Went to a school that plays hockey, so
that's cool.
So I enjoyed it, but I got away from it moving here, and I got re-energized and back into it. And I played football. I really enjoyed football, and I ended up getting like Raider tickets, thinking like I was. But you're right. There's something different about the Knights and the Raiders. It's kind of like, and we feel like, because you go to Knights games, it's 90% Knights fans.
Yes.
You get the out-of-towners, but you go to a Raiders game, it's like 50-50 away fans
or more away fans. I think that's why they say our NFL tickets are the highest priced ticket for NFL.
Yes. Yeah. That worked out.
Everybody's coming from exactly. You sell yours.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming from somewhere else. You know, I went to the Cleveland Browns one, of course, because it's Ohio, right? And
the Cleveland Browns your team?
No, but I went, you know, to watch the Raiders, whatever. And of course, my family and everything were like, "Why are you wearing Raiders gear?" But I didn't have a Browns shirt. But anyways, it was like a majority of Browns fans. It was crazy.
Yes.
So everyone's trying to get out of Ohio, of course, to come visit Vegas. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. So.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because that was always what I thought too. Because if you look at the schedule, and like you're in Ohio, right, or wherever, New York, and you're looking at the schedule, like, what's? Because most fans that like an NFL team, they go to one away. I used to do this, but they usually go to one away game. And what away game are you going? You're going to Vegas.
Of course you are.
Right?
Yeah, getting away. Of course.
Yeah. So that's funny. So. Back to real estate, or your personal goals, whatever it is. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
You know, I want to keep expanding my business. You know, basically all referral business, like I feel like I already have, but I just want to continue to, you know, have more and more transactions, you know, because it's exciting for me. I love it. Like, and the other cool thing that I really enjoy about real estate is that, you know, I can make my own schedule. Yes, we are always working, honestly, even when I'm on trips and things like that. But I love to travel, and I get to, you know, and I'm able to do things, you know, over the phone that I need to. And because I'm on a team, which I love,
teams are great.
People can help me out if I'm out of town. Yeah, I'm on a great team. You know, so if I am gone and something needs to be shown or whatever it is, they're as trained as I am in luxury, which is great, where they can show it just as well as I can, you know? So.
Yeah, that is, we're definitely seeing that. I mean, teams started kind of be a thing about like 10 years ago in real estate, but now it's like, it's moving even more in that direction. Yeah. And if I got in real estate now, I'd be on a team. Like,
yeah, it gives you more freedom. I mean, absolutely. Because we already are working crazy hours, different hours. I mean, I answer my phone whenever. Yeah. You know, late, early, whatever it is. And so because of that, I do want my breaks sometimes to go on a trip or whatever. And that's what's been really great about a team. And being on a team is the best people to hire, you know, in my opinion, especially in luxury, because you want your property shown every single time and by people that know what they're doing, right? And so, because we can sell the house. Someone just walking through doesn't know the upgrade on this window, the upgrade of this, you know, and we can explain that for them. Yeah.
So. No, you're absolutely right. I was showing homes the other day and I was talking to our broker, your team lead, Darren. Shout out to Darren. Yeah. And yeah, there was such a difference when, I think it was actually Jamie that was showing the house for the team. Yeah. Such a difference. All the lights are on. She opens up. She's all excited to see us, introduces herself, can explain anything in the house. makes a big difference then when you're showing like 5,000 square foot houses. It's one thing when it's a starter home and it's like 1,500, you go, because our job is open it up, turn the lights on, open the windows.
Sure.
When it's 5,000 square feet, you're running around the house.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to, and they're already like done. And then you got to turn it all off again.
Yes. It takes 30 minutes or more sometimes to get some of those houses going. I mean, when we have $10 million homes, there's fireplace, there's so many things.
Yeah,
I
waterfall.
mean, opening all the walls, like everything is just a lot. So yeah, that's the great thing that I found being on a team, is that, we all have like that same education, and we understand the importance to have everything ready to go and understand that price, why it's at that price, what the upgrades are, what they're actually getting. So
yeah, well, you guys are really well trained, because even the other day too, I was going to show another property, and the questions were really good, and you can tell the difference. So you're on a well-trained team.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've been finding lately that even in the 2 million range, that there's not even agents coming to those showings. Like, it's crazy. Like, you need to be there. You need to be there to explain, how great the house is and why.
Makes a big difference. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it sounds like you like to travel.
Yes.
So what are your hot spots that you really like to travel? What are maybe some places that you're looking, some bucket list places you want to go in the future?
Yeah. So I am in love with Hawaii. I go usually about 3 times a year. Yeah. I'm hoping, we've been talking about getting a property there, something that we could possibly rent out when we're not there, and then have somewhere to go, and then have something in the family for the kids.
That's exciting.
So that's a plan. But so I go there a lot. I've been to Bora Bora, Europe many times. I love cruises. I've been on 30 some.
Wow.
So yeah,
I love cruises too.
Yeah, they're the best.
Especially in real estate.
Oh yeah,
because your phone doesn't work.
Mine does, unfortunately.
Half the time.
I turn on the Wi-Fi and I have it the whole time. I don't ever really not turn anything. I don't turn anything off. I'm like, if I'm going to take multiple vacations, I'm not going to turn anything off because I still feel like I'm having a vacation. But
it stresses me out. Because I'm like the one that likes to talk to people. I don't like the text conversations.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, I'm not even. I tell everybody, I'm like, I'm not going to have a text conversation with you. I get on the phone and talk to you all day.
Yes, yeah.
But the text, they drive me nuts, and that's. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, some people love text. I could do either, because I love to talk, but I also, if I want to get something quick out there that's not going to be perceived a different way by text, right? Because that's one thing we got to be careful of. Then I'll just do that. But, like I'm on a cruise, but I'll get this handled or whatever, you know? And so, but those are great. I mean, you get to see more places, and then you can always decide, okay, I want to go to that place back there, for longer or whatever. Like Europe has been great for that. So
yeah, cruises are, I like the days off, because then you can just relax and you actually but also you see like a new place every other day or whatever. And you feel like you have like a different new vacation every day. It's kind of
and like I said, if something was so great and you feel like you didn't get enough of it, you could always fly back to that place separately.
Oh, for sure.
So, and then I do a lot of weekend trips, because I don't obviously want to take away from real estate too much, right? So I'll do a lot of weekend trips with friends and things like that. I try to just, have my breaks, but, still be busy.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I try to do like a 3-day to Sedona or Zion or Big Bear.
Love those places.
Easy get in and out, but you there's something about getting out of the city for a little bit, different energy, and kind of, re-energize.
Especially Sedona. I loved that. Yeah, definitely a different kind of energy there. I went to a retreat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Did you go in the vortex?
Yes, yeah. It was interesting. So we went to this one area, and the guy's name was Bear, if that says anything. So he does this whole, I felt like it was like an Indian rain dance, but I don't even remember what he called it. But anyway, oddly enough, and I'm not even like, I believe in energy and everything, but I started to feel nauseous. It was like the craziest thing. And he's like, sometimes when people have a lot of energy themselves, it can make them feel sick. So it's like I had to sit down and take a break. I was like, wow, like that's.
I'm like, what kind of retreat is this?
Right. You're like,
there's no judgment here.
Right.
What'd you take? Tell me.
His name is bear, so whatever you want to take that as, right? It didn't get weird. Okay? There was no other things taken. Like, I'm too scared to do that.
Okay. That could be fun.
No, it's just like my normal, which is even weirder, I guess, right?
Okay.
My normal weird energy, right, caused me to be nauseous. I don't know. But yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. And then we did yoga by this like humongous hundreds of year old tree. Like, it was a very cool, thing to do that. So I highly recommend Sedona as a place too.
I love Sedona. I've never done that yet, but do you do any, I know you traveled. Is there anything else you do for fun when you're not doing real estate?
I love to go to comedy shows and events, like I said.
Where's like your spot to go to a comedy? Is there like a certain, like Wise Guys, or you go on the Strip?
Depends where people are. Like, if I always,
more about the performer.
Yeah, 100%. I always find people on like social media. I'm like, oh, I got to see this guy. I got to see this guy, or whatever it is. So that's a way I do different shows. When I'm out of town with friends, like, I'll look for comedy shows because I love funny stuff,
That's fun.
And so we'll always look for some sort of comedy show when we're out of town too. So.
Cool. That's awesome. All right. Well, I want to thank you for being on. Guys, if you are looking to buy or sell luxury real estate, Jessica is your gal. I'm John McNamara, running Vegas. Take care of yourselves today.
Thank you.